You got snow.
Hold your
okay?
expectations.
Okay, that's
We're
right
giving
now.
you snow,
Yeah.
what you projected.
People should shovel before midnight because
I
you
would
don't want to wake
shovel
up to that.
around 7, 8 o'clock, and then maybe one more
Okay.
time before bed.
Yeah, it's slick out there. Since we had the warmer temperatures at the onset, it's a little bit greasy, so be careful as you step out to shovel.
Yep.
Okay,
Good
call.
advice.
Thank you for being here with us at 6. And by the way, our weather coverage continues on WUSA 9 Plus. Download it on your TV and you can watch for free.
We'll see you back here on WUSA 9 News at 11.
Have a great night until then. See you on Plus. This is WUSA 9 News at 6:30, streaming on WUSA 9 Plus. Let's get you right outside. Here's a live look at the White House and all that snow.
Yeah, we're under a weather impact alert as our team tracks several inches falling around D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. And we thank you for staying with us or joining us. Either way, we're happy you're here. I'm Leslie Foster.
And I'm Lorenzo Hall. So we know snow has been falling in some areas since about noon today. Our entire team has been staying on top of it all for you today. We've got our reporters and photojournalists spread out around the D.C. area, tracking conditions in your neighborhood.
Chief Meteorologist Topper Shutt and meteorologist Caitlin McGrath are closely tracking where this snow is falling now and just how much we're seeing. So, Top, let's start with you.
Well, you know, at noon tonight, we're looking at a heavy band of snow south of I-66. So we've changed and updated our snowfall totals, okay? So here we go. 2 to 4 north, 4 to 6 plus. That's what we had across the entire area. Now we've kind of refined that a little bit, if you will. 6 to 10 inches, Culpeper, Waldorf over toward Warrenton. It's going to snow heavily there for another 4 or 5 hours. It's snowing at the rate of 1 inch per hour. But a good general snow across the board, even up to the border. Now, here's the radar. Widen this out. Anytime you see the color blue, that's your heavy snow. You see the dark blue, those are really heavy snow. That's like 2 inches per hour. So this is the past couple of hours. If you notice, the heavy snow kind of lingering right around I-66 and Route 50. So this is, I pointed this out a couple hours ago before we updated the map, and this is where we thought the heavy snow would be, and it is. It's not going to mix there, and we're going to see the heavy band still set up there. So here's radar past couple of hours, and if you look for the darker blues, that's where you're going to find the heavier snow. But everybody is seeing snow on this map. We're just kind of fixated here on the darker blues because if you see the blue, that's 1 inch per hour. So we got 1 inch per hour at La Plata, Dahlgren, even up to Olney. You almost have it about 3/4 of 1 inch per hour. Snowing pretty well, too, in Leesburg, about 1/2 to 3/4 of 1 inch per hour as well. Silver Spring, McLean, Old Town, pretty good snows, and then big-time snows down 301 into La Plata and Waldorf. So 8 o'clock tonight, we still have snow across the board. It will mix a little bit, though, Fredericksburg down into southern St. Mary's County and southern Calvert County. By 11 o'clock, still some pretty good snows. Temps critical around 30, 32 degrees. And then by 1 a.m., snow still falling. But I think after like 2 o'clock in the morning, that's going to be it. By 6 a.m., we're going to have some flurries and maybe a couple of sleet pellets and maybe a little bit of shower activity down to the south. But for the most part, the big-time snow will end shortly after midnight. Now, for how much snow has fallen already and for some tips on shoveling, we'll send it out to the terrace. Meteorologist Caitlin McGrath. Chef.
Yeah, Topper, every time I come out here, my previous footprints from about 30 minutes prior are already filled in with snow. It is continuing to pile on here in Northwest DC. And while the snow itself is super light and fluffy, I mean, it just falls right off of the tree whenever you bat it, because our surface temperatures were warm at the onset, and we had that initial melting, it's actually kind of slushy and heavy. Now, it's easy to push away, absolutely, so always remember to push if you can instead of lifting, but it is a little bit slushier in that consistency. So let's get over a few tips whenever it does come to clearing this snow. Like we say, with every single snowstorm, shovel early and often. Don't wait until the storm has ended to wind up with anywhere from 4 to 6, even up to 10 inches of snow. It's just going to be too big of a cleanup. And again, like I just showed you, try and push instead of lifting. But if you do have to lift, lift with your legs, not with your back. And if you need to, consider professional services. Just call up a kid in the neighborhood. Chances are they'd love to make a few extra bucks. And really important with this storm, make sure you use the proper amount of ice melt. You really don't need much, especially with the rain moving in tomorrow. Now, here's a look at some of the totals we've seen so far. Waynesboro, Virginia, up to and definitely over 5 inches at this point. But we recently got in a total from Orange up to 4 inches. Honeyville, Virginia, up to 3 inches. That's in Page County. Vienna at 2.8. Leesburg, you're up to 1.1. So we do still have the winter storm warning in effect. Those are all of the areas highlighted there in white. That's, of course, where we do have those highest snowfall totals. A little bit farther to the north, closer to 270 and over into parts of northern and western Maryland, you have a winter weather advisory for that general 2 to 4 inches. But notice that red highlighting there over the Blue Ridge. That's actually an ice storm warning that will go into effect tomorrow for that period of freezing rain to eventually rain for most of us. Thankfully, the freezing rain threat is really off to the west. Most of us will just have that cold rain, and Topper will talk much more about those threats coming up in just a few minutes.
Okay, lift with the legs, not with the back.
That's right.
Go.
Got it. Thank you, Caitlin.
You got that shovel DoorDash to you, right?
I got the shovel. The
You
shovel's
did?
ready.
You ready? Okay, perfect that positioning. All right. Let's get back out into our community because we want to take a closer look at how this snow is impacting the drive home.
Yeah, we have meteorologist Michaela Lucero joining us live now from Eco 9, tracking the road conditions in D.C. And Michaela, I take it it's getting worse out there, huh?
The roads are definitely getting worse out here, but here's the good news. Let me give you a look outside right now. We're at Capitol Hill. The main roads aren't as bad, okay, since they were treated and there have been some additional cars. There is a little bit more clearing on these roads, so if you do have to be out the main roads, they're still slick. I mean, when we're trying to stop at some of these stoplights, it's definitely a little crunchy for us to get to a full stop, but the main roads, they're doing a little bit better than some of those back roads. You can still see quite a few flurries flying right now, but it is still pretty busy out here. And again, we're in Capitol Hill, the Capitol Hill area right now, and the side streets, though, it has been pretty tough. We pulled over to quite a few of the side streets, went through most of Navy Yard, just seeing what the roads are looking like, what neighborhoods are looking like, and the side streets are pretty tough. Now, I want to mention, you see this car in front of me? Let's see if I can zoom in on the roof. If you can, before you start driving, you want to clean off that roof, okay? And here's why. All that snow is going to blow off the roof of your car and blow to the person behind you, and it's going to hurt visibilities for others. So if you can, before you leave, make sure you're wiping off all of your car if possible. If you don't have a car wipe, you can use a broom to get it cleaned off. You can have a lot of different options. Get creative, but make sure that you are not only taking care of yourself, but being a responsible driver and taking care of the people around you as well. We're going to continue to drive through the Capitol Hill area, and we'll keep you guys posted on what we're seeing. But the main roads, even the main roads that have been treated, they are starting to get some pretty significant sticking, and they are pretty slick. We're just sliding a little bit right there as we're moving through. So I'll send it back to you guys in the studio right now. From Eco 9, I'm meteorologist Michaela Lucero, WUSA 9.
It's like you're on a roller coaster strapped in there, huh?
Yeah,
In that
and
car.
I was going to say thank you for that reminder too, Michaela, because a lot of times people just get in their car and go. They may not think about what happens when you don't clear off the roof. And when you're driving, sometimes there may not be a problem, but there's that one time that it all slides off and hits another car. It could cause an accident or worse. So be careful.
All right, Michaela, you be safe out there. In the meantime, thousands of people in Prince George's County, they don't have water tonight. A massive water main break early this morning could not have come at a worse time.
Our Matt Gregory made it out to Oxon Hill. That is where the county is passing out the bottled water to people who can make it there. And Matt, you've been able to talk to a few people in the last hour.
Yeah, we've been talking to people as they've been coming up. As you can see, it's kind of sporadic. First of all, I want to point out to you we're here at the Rosecroft Raceway, and what you can see is there's about 1 inch to 3 inches of snow here just to get up to this flatbed over here that's got the gallons of water on the back of it. So what's going on here? Lorenzo was just talking about it. Let's take you through. Around 2 in the morning, that's when a water main, a big water main, about 54-foot pipe, according to WSSC, that broke near 495, about near 214, so there by Largo. As a result, everything, if you're following me here south of Pennsylvania or Route 4, down throughout the rest of the county, they've had limited to no water. Some folks that talked to Scott Broom earlier, they said, they had no water at their house. I talked to folks today, they said they had low water pressure and other issues. But as a result, while WSSC has been working to repair that water main break and get water back to full service, they've been opening up these water distribution centers. And I'm showing you a video right now of one that we're at earlier today when the sun was out. This is over here, the Rosecroft Raceway. Say that 3 times fast. Anyway, folks, pull up. They can get a few gallons of water. The WSSC crews put them in there. You can also, as I said, go down to Clinton. There's one down there as well. And, a lot of the folks we talked to said this was something they desperately needed. And we heard one woman say to them, thank God you're here. Because, as you know, on a day like today, it's just adding, misery to an already difficult situation, right? You have a winter storm. You have folks who need their water. And if you're keeping score at home, and if you remember, back in January, so a few weeks ago almost, there was already a series of water main breaks. And one man we talked to, Ken Gilliard, he said, today was just insult to injury, and a reminder they got to get the infrastructure going in this county at some point. Take a listen.
Well, we just wanted to make sure that we had enough around the house to be able to take care of things.
Yeah. What's going on?
Well, the water pressure got low in our neighborhood. It was low this morning when we got up. My wife reached over and tapped me and said the alert came up on my phone that we had a boil water advisory. I was like, great, just great.
Didn't we just do a water main break issue in Prince George's County a month ago?
We did several water main break issues. There's a water main break that happened down the street from my house. So yes, it's been interesting.
It's been interesting. That's his judicious choice of words for the second major issue following a storm or during a storm here already this year in Prince George's County when it comes to water main breaks. All right, but let's take you through a real quick recap. Boil water advisory still in effect for areas definitely south of Pennsylvania Avenue in Prince George's County, which is thousands of people, as Leslie pointed out. That means you got to boil the water for an hour, right? Or sorry, you have to boil water for a minute, not an hour. Boil water for a minute, keep it on that rolling boil before you drink it. Obviously, let it cool down. And then at the same time, WSSC is working throughout the night to try to get that water main back online, to get the pressure back up. But until 9 o'clock here at the Rosecroft Raceway, and at down in Clinton, there will be water distribution centers till about 9 o'clock. And you can see you come up, they have water in the back of a flatbed, they'll put in the car for you. So that's what we're seeing here in Prince George's County. Again, more insult to injury, a big storm, in addition to a lack of water in the area that's available to drink. That's why they're providing it here. Back to you.
Yeah, that's a tough combination to have. You're getting it going and coming.
Yeah.
You want those snacks and that good stuff at home, but you got to really make sure you boil the water, and it's not anything to play with.
Yeah,
because
some people don't have water at all.
That's right.
Yeah.
So this is a serious thing. And listen, if people are coming out to you, Matt, to come out and get that water, they need to be very careful based on what we can see on the roads for sure.
Yeah.
Of course, it's been coming down in Prince George's County for more than 3 hours now. Residents did take the warning, and it looks like they're staying off the streets mostly.
Yeah, they're hoping they can get out tomorrow, but you might remember back in January, many of them were stuck when snow removal crews didn't even show up to some of their neighborhoods until days later. Our Alexis Wainwright is in Temple Hills right now. And Alexis, have you seen any plows? I think I see one behind you right now, and that's good to see.
Hey, Lorenzo. Well, I can tell you we actually moved further out. We're in Accokeek now, right by Accokeek Academy, and we can tell you that the conditions have picked up a lot more here in this area. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see where we are exactly. This is Livingston Road, right at the intersection by Berry Road, and we can tell you we talk with people all day leading up to this snow, and a lot of people, as you mentioned, have voiced some of their concerns about a lot of the roads and what conditions will be like because of that last snowstorm. Now, we have seen a few trucks and crews working on this road right here on Livingston Evanston Road. As we were heading out this way, we can also mention some of the other areas that aren't clear just yet are Branch Avenue in Temple Hills, Piscataway Road, also Old Branch Avenue in Clinton, Maryland. So a lot of those roads are still going to take some time to clear, but we can tell you the conditions out here are okay. But as we see more and more snow fall, a lot of people are concerned. Now, one thing we want to remind folks, we've been seeing drivers going fast up and down these roads or trying to go around some of those slower cars. We want to remind you to take your time on these roads because also there's not a lot of light in some of these areas in Prince George's County. So it's hard to see everything that are out on the roadways. But again, this intersection is okay. We can also tell you we spoke with the director of the Prince George's County Department of Public Works and Transportation. They told us they brought out several crews early today, and we know over 500 crews have been out working since Sunday, treating those primary and secondary roads throughout the county. Now, Public Works says it's not expecting it to be as cold as last time, so that should make a big difference when it comes to clearing the roads. But again, we can tell you a lot starting to build out in this area. Of course, we'll keep an eye out for now, but things are okay. But in certain spots, especially some of those primary roads, they haven't been cleared just yet. So we want to remind people to take it slow and really give yourself extra time if you do have to be out in this type of weather. Reporting live in Accokeek, Alexis Wainwright. We'll send it back to you guys.
Yeah, the most welcome sight will be those trucks when they get to those side streets and people can actually get out when the time is right. All right, Alexis, thank you. So from Prince George's County to Northern Virginia, they saw their first flakes of the day, too. It started there just after noon.
Yeah, our Katie Lusso is live in Vienna tonight where road crews, they're feeling good about their efforts ahead of this snowstorm. So, Katie, is it paying off? What are you saying?
Yeah, we'll find out in the next couple of hours, won't we? But here in Vienna, so VDOT, just to be clear, handles the majority of Fairfax County roads. But here in Vienna, they handled their own roads. The town of Vienna, they do the work themselves. You can see a crew here right now filling up, getting ready to head back out on the roads. Now, the town of Vienna is responsible for both pre-treating and clearing 65 lane miles. Again, that is what they are responsible for, not only pre-treating but clearing once the snow starts to stick. So what is happening here is the crews are filling up the trucks. You can see here they're filling them up with salt so that those crews can get out to the main roads throughout the town of Vienna and lay down the salt. Again, they have already done the pre-treating. So this is now once the snow has started to fall. Now, once more than 2 to 3 inches of snow accumulates, they will then be dropping their plows and beginning to clear the roads. These crews have been hard at work here in Vienna on 12-hour shifts since around midnight, which is when they began that pre-treating process. They then switched over to salt operations this afternoon and again will drop their plows and get to work clearing once 2 to 3 inches of snow accumulates. Now, just in the last hour, I was able to briefly chat with the Deputy Director of Operations here in the town of Vienna. Take a listen to what he had to say.
So heavy snow accumulation, primary roads, snow emergency routes, those are the priorities. Once those are finished, then they will get to the secondary routes, which are your neighborhoods. They will get to those in a timely manner. But I would just say, please be patient. They're trying to work as safe and as efficiently as possible.
What is your best advice to people? While you guys have the roads covered, they need to do something as well.
Yes, our advice to them would be to stay home, stay off the roads, be safe, be at home, drink some hot cocoa, and let us do what we do here at the town of Vienna.
Now, Marvin also talked to me a little bit about trash pickup. That's supposed to happen tomorrow. He said they are hoping they're able to do that tomorrow, but of course, that all depends on the amount of accumulation they see here tonight. So one thing you can do at home, in addition to what he said, is make sure you are out of their way so that they can get the roads clear. But also, if you do want to help, one thing you can do is clear off your sidewalk. That's going to make it safer for you and your neighbors when you're walking around. But again, keep an eye out for these guys. They're going to be out on the roads for quite a while as they work to get all of this snow off the road. In Vienna, I'm Katie Lasso. Back to you.
Yeah, give our thanks to those crews as well, making sure the roads are clear for all of us. Katie, thank you. And our weather impact alert team coverage continues now with our Rafael Sanchez Cruz. He's in Southeast D.C. covering the snow emergency that went into effect about 16 minutes ago.
Right now, the district is under a snow emergency at least through tomorrow, Wednesday. This means that cars cannot be parked on snow emergency routes or they may be towed or moved to side streets. DC government says this is necessary to make way for their crews to clear the main roadways. If your car is moved or towed during this snow emergency, DC officials are asking you to call 311 to locate and recover your car. We will be updating the snow emergency up on our website, WUSA9.com, as well as our WUSA9 app. In Southeast DC, I'm Rafael Sanchez Cruz, WUSA9.
Okay, during these weather events, Les and I, we're stuck in here, away from all the snow, and that's why it's so important to hear from you at home, either through our WUSA 9 Near Me app or the WUSA 9 Weather Watchers Facebook page.
That's right. Tonight we've got one viewer getting a little more involved and joining us in the newscast. So please welcome Dana K. Hill.
Hello,
Hi, Dana.
good afternoon,
Where
good
are you?
evening.
Hi, Dana.
Hi.
So where are you? What are you seeing?
I'm in Clinton, Maryland right now. I was actually picking up some water from the Clinton location from WSSC, and I couldn't even get there. So there's a hill before turning at that location, and all the cars got stuck.
Oh.
So I was able to manage my way out, but never made it to that location to get water.
So, okay, so do you have water or do you not have water at home?
I don't. I was not able to make it to that location, but I will try again tomorrow.
So how are you going to manage between now and then, Dana?
I do have something and put away, at home. So we should be able to make it through the night.
So you woke up this morning, you turned on your sink and said, what is going on here?
Yeah, what is going on? In my area, we had very low pressure before the water cut off completely. And so cut on the news and found out that we had a water main break, and schools were starting to close at that point around the county. So we've just been, trying to make it to the stores and stuff. But about 3 o'clock this afternoon, it just started coming down heavy and strong. It's a thick, wet snow, so it's very, very, very slippery.
Yeah, so are any people making it to that site, Dana, you mentioned, that water distribution site? You mentioned cars getting stuck.
Yeah, all the cars that were in front of me and behind me were absolutely stuck. No one was able to make it to that location.
So it sounds like you just got out of your car and started walking.
No, not walking, just trying to take a break. That was a lot. It was about an hour of trying to get off of that street.
Wow.
So I just pulled over at the gas station, just taking a break. I did try to go down Old Branch Avenue where BK Miller's is, and cars were stuck there. Oh. So I was able to turn around and just come to this gas station. I'm right here at the Beltway. So I think that I'm going to try the Beltway to get home. And, that's that.
Yeah, so it sounds like, have you seen any plows going by at all? It sounds like it's just a mess.
Lots of plows are going by. And I saw one that was actually trying to clear the street as best he could, but the others were headed towards the Beltway. So all of these side streets, all of the side roads, they're just a mess. It's a mess right now.
Well, they're going to have a long...
I'm trying to tell everyone to stay off the roads. Please just stay off the roads.
That is the best advice. And Dana, we hope you are able to get home safely, whether it is on the Beltway or one of these other roads. The priority is for you to get home and get home safe. Let us know how it's going in your neighborhood once you finally get back home, okay? Don't let this be the last time we hear from you.
Yeah, we'll check in.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dana.
Be well.
Yeah. And by the way, you can join our WUSA 9 Weather Watchers as well. What a great report there by Dana. It's an exclusive club to show off your weather photos and what's happening in your neighborhood. You can join by scanning that QR code right there, and you can join us on the WUSA 9 Weather Watchers Facebook group. All right, Caitlin, we know folks are submitting their pictures and videos as well. What do you have to show us?
Yes, all of those weather watchers have been showing off and showing up today. We always love to see what's going on in your neighborhood, especially on a day like today where conditions are variable depending on where you are. We've got that heavy snow in parts of southern Maryland and northern Virginia, but not much off to the north. Now, this is probably the best news of all. We just got this photo in from William in Fort Washington, and he said, wow, a plow just did my street in Fort Washington. Washington, Maryland. So good news there. You can see all of the accumulation on the grass and the cars, but that street is in pretty good shape. And this is what it looked like just a little bit before that, shortly before the sun set. We also got this kind of before and after photo. These photos were taken just 3 hours apart in Falls Church, Virginia. This was sent in by Amelia right at the start of the storm. Not much going on, but 3 hours later, you can start to see the roofs, the trees, the garage there also covered in snow. And I think all of our favorite photos, not that we play favorites here, are of the dogs enjoying the snow. And I particularly love this one. This was in Welcome, Maryland. Brenda sent in this photo. Her dog just sitting in the snow, just enjoying that fresh coating we've got. And I've got another great one for you here. This was out of Warrenton. Check this out. This is Max's first snow. Carrie sent in this photo. Max was ready. Max had his jacket. He was like, Mom, let me out. I'm going to go romp around in the snow. And that is exactly what Max did, just doing zoomies around in the snow. You love to see that. We also had, I love Forrest here. Says Forrest loves the snow. He looks a little uncertain in that photo, but you look at this one, he's got his eyes closed.
He's like, okay.
He's smiling.
He wasn't
big.
ready for the first photo. He was like,
No,
okay, I'm ready.
He's like, Mom, take it again. I'm ready now.
This side, my best side.
Exactly, exactly. And don't forget, we want to see what it looks like in your neighborhood as well. So when it is safe to do so, take photos and videos, and you can just upload them to the Near Me section of our free WUSA 9 app. That's how we're able to show off your photos here on air.
WUSA 9 Weather Impact Alert is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
So you've heard us mention this. February is historically the snowiest month of the year around these parts.
Yeah, and it's when we've seen some of our biggest snowstorms, right?
Yeah, some of my fondest, absolutely. Yes, so we'll take you back to 1983 because it occurred on this actual date. Look at the cars. It's funny.
Yeah, I know.
So it was 42 years ago, okay, and we had 16 inches at National, 22 inches at Dulles, and also BWI. It was just a unbelievably great storm. Also some gusty winds. We had some snow drifts.
Not sure the mail.
But the mail got through. Doggone it. The mail got through. And of course, snow football. Yeah, got to play football in the snow, right? I mean, that was absolutely have to do that. Okay, so let's talk about this. Put this in perspective for you. So here's a picture of the weather terrace. That actually is 2016 blizzard. We'll talk about the biggest snows that we've had on record. Now, in terms of National and Dulles, they're different numbers, okay? Hit the space bar for me. In terms of National and Dulles, 1983 is not on the list for National because it was 16 inches. But Dulles, 83, 22.8 inches, still ranks number 4 all time. Yes, Snowmageddon is 1 in 2016. That's the picture behind you. That is number 2. And then 1996, we also talked about that. That is number 3 at Dulles. Now, we updated this about an hour and a half ago. We always had 4 to 6 plus in this darker blue, and then we kind of decided to get a little more specific. So between Warrenton and Fredericksburg, 6 to 10 inches plus, still 2 to 4 inches north and west toward Martinsburg and Frederick and up into Hagerstown. So here's the radar. We'll widen this out and we can sort of see the blue. That's the heaviest snow beginning to sort of tail off pretty much from west to east, but still a tremendous amount of snow falling south of 66 and down into southern Maryland. This is where the bullseye is going to end up being for the totals and also for the next couple of hours. Here's Doppler radar past couple of hours, and you see the blue now pretty far north up into Frederick. So we essentially have moderate snow across the metro, if not heavy snow as you get down into the Beltway and south of 66 and down 95 to Fredericksburg. I mean, you see the blue here. That is about an inch, inch and a quarter per hour of snow. In town, McLean, Silver Spring, Walker Hill, everybody inside the Beltway has at least moderate snow, which is like a half an inch per hour. And we've been saying this all day. I mean, going down 301 is a mess. That's been heavy snow for hours. So where does it go? All right, 8 o'clock tonight, we still have pretty good snow across most of the metro. There will be some mixing Fredericksburg and southern Maryland. By 10:30, still some pretty good snow, still some mixing, and maybe even going all the way over to rain at Patuxent River. Temps around 34. And then by 1 a.m., we still have snow across the metro, but this really jets out of here quickly. So after 1, 2 o'clock, I don't think we'll see any more accumulation. Yes, we could see some flakes tomorrow morning, but in terms of accumulation, don't see anything. Really, tomorrow we're more concerned about rain developing. This is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Everybody's above freezing. By 6 o'clock, we have rain across the board, a miserable day. Temperatures still in the 30s, but above freezing. And even by 11 o'clock, we still have rain across the board with temperatures now near 40. At the onset of that, out toward, I-81, could be a little bit of a mix, and there is a ice storm warning out there for those folks. And look what happens. It gets even heavier. By 6 o'clock in the morning, heavy rain now across most of the metro. Now we're looking at yellows and oranges. That's sort of like a summertime thing, with temperatures now well above freezing. I mean, upper 30s to around 40. Gets out of here pretty quickly on Thursday morning, but we're going to have to make sure we don't see any flooding with the snowpack on the streets. That's 11:30 in the morning. Temps around 50. Clears out. We should see some sun Thursday afternoon. Winds really pick up Thursday. I think we'll see gusts over 30 miles an hour. And guess what? They're now from the west-northwest. More cold air comes in. And that sets the stage for Friday being cold but dry, but then sets the stage for another mix on Saturday morning. And we'll talk about that. Here we go. This is Saturday morning, Futurecast. It has snow in a mix at 6:30 in the morning. And then by 10:30, still has a mix, except for southern Maryland. Maybe a little aggressive in holding the cold air in, but the trends have been colder for this system. And then by 2:30, here comes the warm air. It's going to win out. Still maybe a mix along I-81. And then boom, by evening, it's rain everywhere. I mean, the warm air will win this battle, no doubt. You see the strong south-southeast flow. And pretty good rain Saturday night, too. By 10:30 at night, heaviest rain south of town, but still some rain all the way to the border. And then by 9 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, still some pretty big rain. The darker shades of green is heavier rain, much like the darker shades of blue is heavier snow. Pretty good rains across most of the metro, and then it gets out of here by Sunday afternoon. So right now, another weather impact alert on Wednesday for rain and a mix to rain north and west. Windy with rain ending on Thursday. We're 50, and then we crash. Okay, we go back to the low 40s on Friday, but that's good for Valentine's Day. No worries about deliveries. Here comes the weekend. Yes, a mix to rain on Saturday, especially north and west. Look at Sunday. Rain ends 56 degrees, and then we crash again. Upper 30s on Monday, mid-30s on Tuesday, windy to breezy both days. That sets the stage for what could be another mix next Wednesday. But let's get through tonight first, shall we?
Yeah, how about we get through this first, Todd? That's a good idea.
Okay, well, let's get through that. And by the way, we might have to, light these up with weather impact alerts over the weekend.
Well, let's just wait. It's Tuesday.
That was Caitlin and I decided that was good. That was our thinking, just to wait, get through this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Why not?
Really quickly, I think we have a live shot here now. Yeah, this is from VDOT. They sent out this tweet, if you will, a moment ago in Springfield saying westbound I-495 to southbound I-95 ramp 170A is closed right now, as you can see, because of a crash and also snow accumulation.
That's where they had the trouble with the icing on primary day.
I was going to say, we know that those freeze before most parts of the road.
So they're trying to get some of those treatment vehicles en route to get some of that cleared up, the crash and also the snow.
Yes, you want to avoid that area if you can. Just stay home. If you can stay home, that's the best advice for sure.
Wow. Okay. Does not look like much fun, does it?
No.
That does it for us here at 6:30. Top, you're going to be back here on Plus at 8 o'clock, right?
Yes,
okay.
All right, and then we'll all be back on WUSA 9 for the news at 11. So have a great evening. Stay safe. Watch us from home. Eat some good snacks, and send us your snow pictures.
Yes.